Pleased to be joined by its second-year defenseman Braden Haché, but if you go by the year's third year, thanks for joining us, Braden, and welcome back to Kingston. For those who don't know, you're fresh off an appearance at the Florida Panthers training camp, isn't that right?
Yes, that is. I appreciate you having me, and I'm excited to be back.
So we see the Panthers jersey hanging in behind you. Maybe you can just tell us about the experience of getting drafted, first of all, and then actually getting to training camp and seeing some action.
Yeah, well, obviously with the crazy year that we had and not being able to have a season with the Frontenacs this past year and in what was my draft year, I just tried to focus on what I could do and everything that was in my control. And there was so much that was out of our control in that year. So to have the opportunity to be drafted by Florida and, for them to believe in me after a year of not playing just gave me more fuel to be better every day. So that moment, you dream of it. And I think the first reaction was just tears. Like it was pretty crazy, surreal moment to be had with my family in a day that I'll never forget. That's my official draft jersey in the back that arrived about a week later after the draft from Florida with a little bit of swag too. So they've been a first-class organization ever since draft day, and being able to get down to Fort Lauderdale and spend the past 3 weeks just getting back a couple of days ago was amazing. So I got in a rookie tournament in Tampa, which was super cool. Being able to play against Richie, who was on Carolina, as an invite there, and just to be able to kind of live the life of a pro. It was pretty crazy, and just see their life, and then having the opportunity to attend main camp, with guys that I've idolized growing up. And some pretty cool names in there. So they're going to have a good team this year. So it was cool to be around them and take that motivation back to Kingston.
Looking on from the outside, it's got to be a bit of a boost to your confidence to see limited action in the OHL in your rookie season, go without playing in your second year, and then still get drafted to the NHL. I got to think that that's got to boost your spirits heading into this upcoming campaign a little bit.
Yeah, confidence is key. I kind of started to build that throughout my first year in Kingston, and then obviously I finished it with a long injury, being out 6 weeks, so that was hard. So being able to bring that confidence back, be selected in the NHL draft, and then be at a totally different pace in Florida with NHL players was awesome. So I've got a lot of confidence, and I know as a team we have a lot of confidence going into the regular season next week.
Speaking of confidence, it's also got to boost it when you come into your second OHL season, and already you're going to be one of the leaders on this Frontenacs team, because we mentioned you've already got one full season under your belt, and then you've got the NHL draft and the training camp underneath for experience. So you come in as one of the more veteran guys that are going to be leaned on this season. How does your role change when you head into this year?
Yeah, I know how it was my first year. Coming in, it's, maybe you're gripping your stick a little too hard, or just being able to welcome the players who are coming in for the first time. We all know how it was to come into the league for the first time, come into a dressing room full of guys who are, 4 or 5 years older than you. So just kind of knowing that I'm a leader and I have an influence on our young athletes and our first year players. So just being able to make sure that they feel welcome. And I think we've done a great job over the past year creating a welcoming environment and a family culture in Kingston and with the Frontenacs. So I think that's something that we try and build every day, and building those relationships with every player, and just accepting everyone's roles. So I think that's what's brought us together, really tight in the last year and the last couple of weeks. So I think, we all want to play for each other. We all want to win for each other. So I think we're all excited going into the year, but I'm excited to be a leader on this team this year. And I know we have a great leadership group and a young players that want to get better every day.
When fans look at the Frontenacs, they're going to see that when you started, you had one coach, and then there was a new coach in Paul McFarland, and now a third coach in Luca Caputi. But does it make it a little easier to adjust when you've got a guy like Luca Caputi on the bench who's already familiar with what you bring night in, night out, knows your tendencies, knows the way you play, knows what you're capable of?
Yeah, we believe in Luca, and Luca believes in us, and I think that's been the biggest thing that we've built. Like I talked about, being a family organization, but we have a lot of belief in Luca, and we want to win. So I think he has a winning attitude and a winning culture, and that's what we've built here. And obviously, we've had relationships with Luca, him being on the bench last year and being with us this past year. Through a year that was hard for many people not being able to play. So he's stuck with us, and we're happy to see him lead us this year, and we're all on his back. So I think it's awesome, and we all believe in each other, and that's been the biggest change.
Winning is certainly something the Frontenacs have been doing so far in this preseason, going undefeated through 4 games. I'm sure, were watching from afar down in Fort Lauderdale, keeping tabs on the guys. Coming into the season, they're ranked number 4 in the preseason rankings. How do you go about keeping expectations in check when you see that in the preseason, knowing that anybody who's involved in hockey knows that the preseason, you don't put a whole lot of stake in that?
Yeah, we haven't won anything yet, and I think we all know that was the mentality going into practice today. That all we're doing right now is preparing for our home opener, and that's really what matters. The last 4 games, yeah, they were good. We're happy. They gave us some confidence, gave some young guys, a little bit of feel for the pace and the play of the league this year. But right now, that's in the past, and we're all focused on just being ready on October 8th. And when that day comes, we'll be ready. So that's all our focus is right now, and we know that. Rankings, anything outside of our dressing room right now doesn't matter. So we're just keeping it inside the room, and that's what matters. Everything that we do every day as a team.
Is there a sense of maybe of a bit of a leveling out across the league in the sense that nobody's played in a year and a half, and so everybody's kind of starting from the same point?
Yeah, I think the league's totally different, and it's going to take the first little bit of the season to kind of scope out teams. Every team has 2 draft classes. Almost half the team is their first year in the league. So getting to know teams and getting to know them as we play them, watching video and kind of dissecting teams as we go and preparing. But we're just gonna stick to our game, stick to our culture, and attack every day with a purpose.
Talking about yourself, you're going to be one of the more seasoned guys coming into the year because you've already been at it for the last few weeks. How long did it take to shake the cobwebs off after the year and a half away?
Yeah, obviously, my first game back past training camp was a rookie tournament in Florida. So obviously, it was first game in a year and a half and a much higher pace. So obviously, it took a little bit to get into it, but I think as hockey players, it's always there no matter what. And to be able to get those high paced games in and then come back here, get a preseason game in last night as well too. With the guys was awesome. So yeah, it did, game situations, game pace and everything. It takes a little bit to get back into it, but I think we've been pushing each other every day at practice too here in Kingston that we want each other to get better. So we've prepared ourselves right, and we're going to continue to do so.
One last question before we let you go. There's going to be a lot of fans who maybe haven't seen you play yet. What can they expect from Braden Haché when he's out on the ice this upcoming year?
Yeah, make life tough for the other team. I think that's going to be a big part of my identity this year. Shut down the lines of the other team. I think we're going to be a fast-playing team. And overall, just, I've worked on my feet a lot too, so I feel a little bit more mobile as a defenseman. But no, it's going to be good. A good shutdown role, and I'm excited to hit the ice and play in front of fans who haven't seen us in a little while.
Thanks for the time today, Braden, and good luck this season.
Thank you. I appreciate it.